If I needed some simple object movement, like let's say a platform moving between multiple locations, this is how I would do it. All you're going to need is any project in Unreal Engine. I'm using the default third person project. Let's get straight to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is come into the content browser, the content drawer, and wherever you want to make this blueprint is where you should be. I'm going to right click, create a blueprint class, select actor, and we'll just name this platform. And we're going to double click and open up platform. The first thing we need in our platform is an actual platform. So under the components window, I'm going to click add. I'm going to add a cube. And I'm going to adjust. Well, let me name this cube. Just gonna name it Platty. And I'm going to adjust the dimensions of this cube to make it look more like a platform and be big enough to stand on. Then I'm going to search for movement. We want InterpTo movement. This is just a InterpTo movement. It's just a component that adds movement to an object based on a series of control points. So if we click on that component that we just added over in the details scene, I'm going to highlight the important ones. Number one is the duration. This is the amount of time it takes to go between all the points that you've defined. And number two is the control points. These are the locations that you want the platform to visit. So let's just say I want to visit a series of locations over 10 seconds. Control points is an array of elements. So if we click the add button, you'll see index 0 get populated with 2 members. We expand that. We see position control point. So this is the first control point. And then we have this checkbox. Is this position relative? If you're just trying to draft some stuff out, or you don't need to be super specific, you can be a little general, you can use relative. But if you wanted to put in exact coordinates for these platforms to move to, then you'd want to uncheck that and in control point put specific locations. But because this is just a simple tutorial, I'm going to leave it as relative. So this first point is going to be 0, 0, 0. I'm going to leave that there. In order for this platform to move, there has to be at least 2 control points. So 0, 0, 0 is just going to serve as the beginning. I'm going to add another one at index 1. I'm going to expand that, and I'm going to change it. I'm going to change the x value to 100. So from 0, 0, 0, well, let's make it 1000 so it moves far enough. From 0, 0, 0, it'll move 1000 units on the x-axis. I'm going to create one more, and I'm going to have it move 1000 units on just the y-axis then. The other things you'll want to note are behavior. Pause on impact. If your platform runs into anything, it'll pause. Teleport type. Do you want it to reset physics or teleport physics? It doesn't matter for us. The most important one is behavior type. One shot is just going to move through all the control points and stop at the end. One shot reverse is going to move through all the control points. Once it gets to the end, it's going to move back through them and stop. Looping reset will reset back to the start when reaching the end, meaning it's not going to revisit any points along the way. It'll just come right back to the beginning. And ping pong is just going to repeatedly go from the beginning to the end nonstop. So I'm going to leave it on ping pong. The last thing we need to do is put this actor in our level. I'm going to create some space. I don't want this thing to collide with anything while it's running unnecessarily. And I am going to, from the content drawer, just drag this platform into the level. Make sure it's not colliding with the ground. And when I hit play, it should be moving. As you can see, the platform is moving 1000 units on the X. Then it's moving 1000 units on the Y. And then it's going back 1,000 units on the Y, and then back 1,000 units on the X, and it comes back to the beginning. This platform is big enough to stand on, so we would be able to ride it if that's what you were making a platform for. But yeah, that's it. Pretty simple.